Hey guys, and welcome back to my channel and another recipe video. We're going to be making garlic butter chicken and rice, and jumping right on in, I'm just going to go ahead and put some seasoned chicken into the pan that I have sprayed with olive oil, seasoned side down. And I've just seasoned this with Cavender seasoning. It's a great all-purpose seasoning. It does have salt on it though, so I try not to go too heavy-handed on it, but it is a delicious all-purpose seasoning. So after I get all the chicken in the pan, I'm just gonna kind of move it around and make sure everything's spread out and cooking evenly and everything's not crowded together. And then I'm gonna go back in and coat the other side with the Cavender seasoning just to make sure that both sides have a good amount of flavor and spice and whatnot. And then I'm gonna let this cook uncovered for about 5 or 6 minutes or so. I'm just trying to get a crust on the chicken. I'm not worried about cooking it all the way through yet at this point. Just want to get some flavor going in there. After this has been going for a few minutes, I'm just going to go ahead and flip it over just to start cooking the other side a little without burning the top side. At this point, I realized that maybe I had not oiled my pan enough, and I am going to go in a little bit later and add some olive oil just to kind of get things a little more moisturized and moving around. So here's where I'm going back in and adding just a little bit more oil just to loosen things up a little bit. The pan had started getting a little bit dry, but once the oil is in there, I'm just gonna let it go for a few more minutes. And at this point, we're gonna start cooking it all the way through before we add the rice. At this point, the chicken had finished cooking all the way through, so I'm going to remove that and put it on a plate and set it to the side until I'm ready to add it back in. But then I'm going to go ahead and add some butter to the pan and let that reduce down a little, and I'm going to add some garlic and then some more of the Cavender seasoning, as well as a little bit of chicken stock. And I'm just kind of making a pan sauce here, and I'm releasing all the flavor that had cooked down to the pan and deglazing that from the bottom. And then this is gonna go on top of the chicken and rice when it's done cooking. Once the pan sauce is about this consistency where it's kind of sticking to itself, I don't know how to explain that, I'm going to go ahead and remove that and set it to the side. And then I'm going to go ahead and add the rice. I'm just adding in some butter, and I'm going to toast the rice around a little bit before I add the moisture, just to kind of toast it up a little bit, adds a little bit more flavor and depth to the rice. I used 1.5 cups of rice, so I'm going to use 3 cups of chicken stock to cook that in. And once it's all toasted up and looking a little golden brown, I'm going to go ahead and add the chicken broth in, and then I'm going to cover it and let it cook for about 20 minutes or so, just until it starts to fluff up a little. And then I'm going to add the chicken back in and let that go for an additional 5 minutes. So it's been cooking for about 20 minutes. I'm gonna go ahead and uncover it, stir it around, make sure everything's looking good. There's still plenty of moisture in there. And I'm gonna pop the chicken right back on top and let that warm back up. Remember, it's fully cooked at this point, so we're just warming everything up and letting all the flavors come together. Once that's gone for about 5 minutes, I'm going to bring back that pan sauce and kind of pour it evenly over everything. This is not the most appetizing looking dinner, but it was delicious. It was full of flavor. I would probably add a little bit of Italian seasoning or something next time just to give it a little more depth. But it had really good flavor. It was a little salty, but it was delicious nonetheless. And this is what it looks like plated up. I just served that alongside some mixed vegetables and it was really good.